Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer, and I'm out exploring again. Today I'm on the South Downs. I'm in East Sussex and I'm coming up to the Ditchling Beacon. The views up here are just spectacular. I'm looking north across the Sussex Weald, and in the far distance, just over there, I can just about make out the North Downs. On the other side of this peak, you could make out North Brighton, and if you're very lucky, you can see the football stadium, which is a bit of a blight, in my opinion, on the landscape, the Brighton football stadium. But then I'm not really a football fan. The idea today is just to take a short stroll up to the beacon. It's a very popular beauty spot. People come and just have picnics in this area. They can walk the South Downs Way. The South Downs Way goes across from Eastbourne all the way to Winchester. It's about 100 miles and it provides a strenuous, although relatively flat walk if you fancy putting one foot in front of another over a number of days. A lot of people cycle it actually, which is quite rewarding also. I just want to take you to have a look over here because there's a dew pond here, but it's looking pretty depleted. So there you can see my shadow as I make my way up. There's a car park which is very convenient, and I have to confess I didn't walk up, I did come in the car park. Across the busy road. And I'm going to make my way up to the beacon. Let's come this way, past these people. Right, coming up onto the Ditchling Beacon. It's a nature reserve as well. Oh, there's somebody running. Let's open the gate for him. Here we go, Squire. And away he goes. Right. I should tell you also that at the top here, you can't really see it terribly well, but there was an Iron Age hill fort, possibly back to the Bronze Age as well. The ramparts are not at all clear, and if you didn't know it was here, you wouldn't really be able to tell. You'd just see the slight ridges and stuff. Over the years, of course, it's been ploughed by farmers many times, and as a result the ramparts have basically been eroded away, and now it's unlikely that they'll go back and do any sort of major excavation, which is a shame. If I knew the names of the wildflowers, I would tell you. Unfortunately, I don't. Unlike my recent walk in Wales up to Cadair Idris, Wales's second largest mountain, the South Downs now seemed pretty tame, albeit that it's very windy this morning, and I'm hoping, because I'm not monitoring the sound, that the wind isn't buffering the microphone too much. But there you can see the trig point coming, and when you get to the top here you get a far better panoramic view of the whole area. This is the third highest point in on the South Downs on all, the whole stretch, but it's the highest point in East Sussex. Here we go. one of these trig points. They were placed in around the 1930s, before we had satellites and that kind of imagery and all of that business. And all over the UK you'll find these trig points. They're important bits in order to produce the maps. Sorry, I'm not expressing myself terribly well today because I've got a bit of a cold. But that hasn't stopped me from coming out. So let's have a look at the view, shall we? Looking north there, with the North Downs in the great far distance, very small, probably too small to make out on this camera, unfortunately. And then as we come round, let's just come round here, a bit of the view is obscured, but we can just see the sea. Maybe you can't, and unfortunately in the sea now there is a lot of wind farms, windmills, and then over that way into the distance and into the sun, the glare of the sun, the early morning sun I should say, we get the rest of East Sussex and then over to Kent. It is a beautiful spot, and it's close to a little village called Ditchling and just north of Brighton, so it's got a steep front north face, as it were, and cyclists particularly enjoy coming up the hill, climbing up that on their bikes, and then joining the Southdowns way or just coming back down to Brighton or wherever. It's a place to come for picnics and little walks. You can park here, and it is rather beautiful, and if you pick a sunny day like I have, you couldn't go wrong. So that's Ditchling Beacon, and thank you very much for watching. I'm sorry I've got a bunged up nose and I got a bit of flu and I'm a little bit vague today. Maybe I'm not really awake. But anyway, if you've enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up. Write a comment if you've been here. I'd like to know what places you've been to in the UK and where you'd recommend me to go. And I will see you on the next one. Don't forget to subscribe. Till then, bye-bye.